Hi, Igor. I can't hear you. I think you're on mute.
Hey,
Oh, now I can hear you. Hi.
so all the time, and that's the best of doing life, right? That's the benefits of doing life. So let me do it again. Hey, hi
Yeah.
guys, welcome. This is the second edition of Quarkus Live Call. Today we are going to do something different. We have George here, and we are going to do a QA session. So if you're watching us, feel free to send your questions for George. Please send us where you are or where you base. We want to know where you are. And if you're not confident with English, you might can send in Portuguese or Spanish. I will do my best to try to translate. And hopefully George will give some ideas, try to answer as well. And the idea is to be kind of a collaborative call. We are going to be to do and have some fun, right? Sorry for I wasn't motivated on the first 30 seconds. So, George, let's start with the basic, right? I know I saw that you can write Portuguese, so I start with the question. Where are you from? That's a good question, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So I'm Brazilian. I work at Red Hat for about 12 years now. Yeah, I joined Red Hat on 2012. Um, but I've been working professionally with Java since the year 2000. So it's quite a long time. Um, I used to, well, before joining Quarkus, I was involved in other open source projects. Maybe one of the most known in the Java community is the one called JBoss Forge. Um, and now I'm really happy on work to be working in the Quarkus Core as a Quarkus Core maintainer, and
Nice.
also as helping people grow into the Quarkverse, which I believe we're gonna talk about that
Yeah,
soon.
nice. And for curiosity, where are you based?
I'm based in Joinville, Santa Catarina.
Ah, so you're in Brazil. All right, nice.
Yeah.
Do you know if there is any other Brazilian inside the Quarkus team as well? Or
Uh,
people in Latin America, and in general?
I know not exactly core maintainers, but we have several developer advocates like Elder Moraes and
Nice.
I don't remember the others to be honest, but yeah, well, people are really excited here in especially in Brazil because based on our statistics, we can say that Brazil is one of the top countries that use Quarkus nowadays.
Nice. And Quarkus Club is maybe one of the biggest community. We created this joke, right? Not a joke. We say that we are the biggest one until someone complains against, right? We passed 2000 and uh, 2000 and a half members.
Yeah,
So anyway, I start with the basics, right? How do you get involved in Quarkus?
right. Yeah. So I got involved by simply starting to contribute with the project. So one of the projects that I was working previously was a Java application, and we used to deploy that on Wildfly, and it was good. It was okay, and then um, well, people started developing Quarkus, and I started to migrate all the stuff that I had. It wasn't like um, you know, a big job or something that needs to be a big refactoring job, to be honest. Since Quarkus is totally well, it is Java EE compatible. So I started migrating, and then I started because it was really an early build, um, I started finding bugs and reporting them. So at the same time, I started fixing some of the bugs, and then in a in a morning, I was invited to join the team to make it better. That's about 2 or 3 years
Nice.
ago. Yeah.
Oh, nice. And how can one become involved with Quarkus, right? If
Oh,
people
right.
are watching, what they can do, how they can proceed.
Right. That's a great question. So you can start by using Quarkus. So start by creating applications with Quarkus. Try to visualize like a use case where you feel that Quarkus will help you with. Um, and then you can once you understand how Quarkus works, you can start digging into the internals of it. Um, Usually, you can do that by providing issues in the Quarkus issue tracker. But if you feel you're confident enough to submit some pull requests, I think Mateus here is one of the contributors. You can start by looking at the issues that we have right now in our issue tracker, and there is. I'm not sure if I can. Can I share something
Yeah,
here?
you can.
Here. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So if you navigate to the Quarkus issue tracker in GitHub, you can find by the label "Good First Issue." So that's how we triage like issues that could um, help in getting your feet wet with Quarkus. So they are we consider them like easy issues that anyone can take them and provide a pull request to start uh, contributing with Quarkus.
Nice. So for you, those don't know, when we advertise on the Quarkus Club that we will have a session with George, a lot of Quark side or Quarkus verse questions start to appear, and I guess George externalizes himself that feel free to ask a Quarkus verse questions. So I guess, right, for starter, what the heck? What is Quarkus verse? What exactly it is?
All right. Yeah. So Quarkiverse is a term that we use to designate everything that is related to Quarkus. So that includes like the core extensions and also the community-based extensions. Um, we do have a website called Quarkiverse.io. So in here you can the basic idea of Quarkus is to help you develop, uh, learn how to write an extension and also to provide guidance on how to make your extension visible in the community. So we do have Quark. If you navigate to the Quarkverse.io, you will find a link to what Quarkverse really is. In practice, this is separate GitHub organization um, because we believe that the community can have like their own team, their own expertise on different topics, on different subjects. So we believe that you can develop your own extension with your own team, with your different set of people. Um, and then have you can have your own issue tracker, your own repository based um, code. And Quarkverse has the advantage of providing you with this new repository and also the ability to um, allow you to easily release your artifacts to Maven Central. So this is a step that you can do once your extension is accepted into the Quarkverse GitHub repository. There's always that question, but why not put that into the Quarkus IIO organization? And the answer is because GitHub has some limitations on the number of build runners that you can use to build your project. So Quarkus is really expensive in when it comes to CI, because we have several pull requests being open every day, and that takes a lot of processing power to build, and we didn't want community extensions to hold to wait for available runners. So we put that into a separate org, so you can have more leeway for for your work.
Nice. And kind of a follow-up question, but you might already answer. Is Quarkus open for anyone to join? And if so, how can individuals get involved and collaborate?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So the basic idea of Quarkus is exactly for everyone to contribute and to bring along your extension and work on it. So we do have like a checklist. If you're interested in joining the Quarkus, you can join the Quarkus by proposing a new extension, or if you want to, work along with any other team that already has a Quarkus extension. So that what that means exactly? That means that you will be added to the Quarkus GitHub organization. You get commit rights for the repository that you are accepted, and then you have like these facilities of having having the repository there for you, easy an easy release process to follow, and get your artifacts in Maven Central. So that's what it's all about.
Nice. So we have a question for someone, Marcos Noronha. Are there any extensions planned to be added similar to Vaadin or Hila frameworks?
Okay, yeah, there is a Vaadin extension, and I think it's
Maybe on the top of that, like how one can know what is planned.
yeah. So if you're interested in knowing what extensions are available in Quarkus, you can browse to code Quarkus IO, and this is where you generate your Quarkus application. You can do that in this website or using the CLI. So if you navigate to code Quarkus IO, you can see that there is already a vetting extension. And this extension is interesting because it's not in the Quarkus organization. It's maintained by the vetting core maintainers itself. So they have like their own organization, and then that is fine. We don't see that as a problem. The only thing is that the group ID won't be IO Quarkus, but it will be managed by your company group ID. So this extension is one of the things that is also available in Quarkus. But if you're interested in knowing which other extensions are planned, or if you want to suggest a new extension, you can always open a ticket in our Quarkus issue tracker, and it's called, if you back here, if you go here as a new issue, you can see there is like an extension proposal type, and then you can type here suggestion, and if this gets enough votes, or if you already have a team that is planning to work on it, we'll get that set up like in a day or two tops. So that's the real thing. Like that's what's really exciting in Quarkus.
Nice. I didn't check myself, right? In Quarkus Verse, if you have the possibility to translate, but the question that someone asked is, what are your thoughts on incorporation of a translation options in Quarkus Verse and its documents? Acting like almost akin to what's available in Quark's docs nowadays.
Right, that's a great question, and I have to be honest that we still haven't seen anyone asking for that in the Quarkverse docs uh, exactly. But that's a great idea, and um, I'm just a little concerned about the process. We probably need to follow like a different process than what we use right now with the Quarkus website, uh, because for the Quarkus website specifically, we have uh, we have a process that runs every, I think it's every week or every month. I don't remember right now, which translates the website with an AI open open API endpoint. So we do have this translation being performed, and of course they are marked as fuzzy translations, and that's what the guys from the Quarkus Club are submitting pull requests, removing those fuzzy marks um, into the documents. But I'm thinking of following a different strategy for the Quarkverse docs exactly, but I still need to dig into it. It's a great idea, but that still needs to be. Um, we still need to take that idea further. And think with the team with what would be a good step to do it.
Yeah. There is a follow-up question, right? Could this foster a greater engagement from the Latin community in Quarks Verse?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, we have received a lot of feedback, a lot of pull requests from the Latin community when we started the Brazilian Portuguese translation of the Quarkus website, and that's great. I think yes, I think that's definitely that
Actually,
would.
I'm curious about something because so currently people in a collaborative way translate the pages, right, and submit this as a pull request.
Yeah.
So how you guys control how old or how updated is this translation?
Um, we that process that we have with the OpenAI picks extracts the text from the original Quarkus, um, and once there are any changes, it picks that text and marks as fuzzy. So you probably, like, if there are any changes in the original content, you probably see that you probably won't see that change translated into the new website. So that may trigger you with a warning saying that, hey, this is not yet translated, so I can like submit a pull request and change that. So that's how we're dealing with content that is not translated yet. They're marked as fuzzy, and you just unfuzzy them.
Nice. Uh, I guess similar question here again. What's the scope of the Quarkus Verse project? Can I add any extension there? And I ask because of the delivery of projects from Discord bots from Frameface.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know, I don't know this context. Do you know this one?
Sure, yeah. So basically, We think that what works for you may work for the community. So we usually tend to agree that it's a good idea. Like if you propose an extension that deals with a specific technologies, let's say for instance Java effects, and that's like a nice contribution, something that will make Quarkus more visible in the community. So there are no limits on what kind of projects you can add there. It's just that if you feel that people will be happy enough or thrilled enough to see your extension or to work with your extension, we think that's a great idea. Like one of the most enjoyed extensions that we have right now is the LangChain for J extension, which is based on OpenAI, and it's really cool.
It's really trained, right?
Yeah.
Right. So, can we collaborative health? So now regarding Quarkus, right? Not Quarkus
Okay.
Verse, you know.
Yep.
Can we collaborative way help the Quarkus project and produce content in Portuguese or Spanish? I guess this is what's already happening, right?
Yes, exactly. That's what's already happening. We do have a Spanish version of, if you navigate to es.quarkus.io, you can see that there is a Spanish version, and also there is a repository under the Quarkus.io org with the es.quarkus, which follows the same process as the Brazilian Portuguese version. You provide a pull request, you remove the fuzzy keywords, you translate with your best Spanish, and submit a pull request. That's how it works.
That's just a curiosity. Do, do they have a translation for several languages, like
Mm,
Chinese, Japanese, or whatever,
right. Yeah.
Arabian?
It depends. Well, because that's like there are real people behind these translations. Although we do have a process that makes the hard and boring part of picking the content and generating like a translation that is good enough to be displayed on the website. We need like real people to visualize that and make sure that it's correct. So I'm the one in charge of the Portuguese Brazilian translation, especially because I believe I'm the only Brazilian in the team. But and also there is another person in charge of the Spanish. There is one for Chinese. There is one for Japanese, and
And if in the situation that if you
yeah.
end up in anyway any language that is there is no one in the team able to speak.
Yeah, then you need first to convince the team that that's like a good idea. It's not like it is technically possible, but you need someone to be in charge of that content, um,
Makes
and I
sense.
think that this is the hardest part ever. Like find someone that will know that language really well and will maintain over time. We don't want these websites to be abandoned because like the people can't work on it anymore, and that's okay, it happens. But we are right now, because the process depends on a real person, we try to stick with the Quarkus core maintainers because we know that they will do their best to maintain these websites.
Yeah, makes sense. Guys, if you're watching us live, please don't be shy. Send a message regarding where you are, where you base. Questions for George, right? We want to be a kind of collaborative session, so please ask questions. Uh, the next one that we have here is again regarding with our community and how we create a closer bond between projects and our community. Further strange for Quarkus presence in Latin as well. What's your opinion about that? That's a good one.
How create a closer bond between the project and the community to
Like,
strengthen.
do you have any idea of some initiative that we can do in community that could
Oh,
improve those kind
this
of things?
these Q&A sessions are great. Like we could promote more of those Q&A sessions, especially on different topics, different subjects. That's fantastic. I can also bring in the future maybe some other core community core members to talk here. This is really great.
Yeah,
Uh,
we are trying to ask them, hello, core community guys. We want you guys here.
exactly. Yeah, I think the I think the idea is to bring these people to the people that are interested in contributing. Um, uh, well, I think joining the Quarkus Club is like a good strategy. I mean, we have so many people from Latin here, and so many people that use Quarkus and know their futures and can recommend Quarkus for the use case that they're looking for. Um, I think joining the Quarkus Club is like the first step to create a closer bond. I mean, that will be like the first the answer that I have for this question.
Nice. We have some internal projects. Uh, so we are looking for release a magazine. I'm not going to give too much details. If you want to know, join the Discord and find yourself. But we are planning to release a magazine, and then there is the JDK comparison as well. Those kind of things. The Portuguese translation or the Spanish translation of the documents. Maybe they are going to start the Quarkus verse as well. Who knows?
Right.
If you want the Quarkus verse translation, please join the Discord and poke George there. He's going to help. That's this guy. So Marcus put another question here. Let's see. For the future version 4.0, it's possible to make Quarkus even lighter and faster.
It's always a possibility. Like we have a QE team that is obsessed with performance. Like we have people there that can chop like the tiniest millisecond when in the Quarkus code base. So they perform a lot of tests, and this is like a continuous process where we never stop making it lighter and faster. So that's I mean you can see it faster like in the next release or so. You don't need to wait for version 4 like to use the latest and the greatest version of Quarkus right now.
Yeah, it makes sense, right? That's the goal, right? Always be better.
Exactly. Yeah.
We have another question here from Mateus Cruz. Mateus Cruz. What's necessary to have a Quarkus verse extension on Quarkus Core? What's the prerequisite? That's a good question, right?
Oh,
When or where you move from Quarkus verse to Quarkus, or if never happens, I don't know.
uh so yeah, there are some stuff that needs to be clarified here. You can have your Quarkverse extension when you say to belong. If you want to belong, you want to make your Quark version on Quarkus Core. What exactly do you mean? Do you mean like getting it listed under the Quarkus bomb, or do you mean having your extension list included into the Quarkus IIO/Quarkus repository?
Yeah, I
Um,
don't know, Mateus, if you can answer. I guess he's talking about the GitHub, right? Like migrate from one to another, I guess.
yeah, probably. Well, but if it's a Quarkverse extension, let's assume that it's in under the Quarkverse uh, org. So you can make your extension available in the Quarkus platform, which is the Quarkus platform bomb. Yeah, the second one. By by asking yourself to be included. There is a mailing list called Quarkus Platform. Where is it now? It's Quarkus Platform coordination. I'll paste the link in the chat. Not sure if... Oh, I can't paste it here. But I'll send in private for Igor.
Yeah, I can publish it here. Or at least I can try.
So this, if you want to be included into the Quarkus platform, you need to have like a higher level of commitment, especially with the Quarkus team. Between releases, you need to make sure that your extension is compatible, 100% compatible with the following platform version. We do have some processes that make sure that run your tests on top of the latest and greatest Quarkus release to make sure that your extension still works with this release. But having it included into the platform would mean like a stronger coordination with the Quarkus team itself. Maybe that's not what everybody wants, but unfortunately we need people to be 100% involved if you really want to have your extension included into the platform, because that becomes part of Quarkus. And every BOM, the platform BOM is the BOM that we know for sure that works with Quarkus Core. That's where you will find like the Hibernate extensions, the Undertow and the Vertex versions, because those are the extensions that we have exhaustively tested, and we guarantee that they work as advertised. So so that's
nice. So we have another question here. It's possible to start with the translation process and then do something more meaningful in the source codes of Quarkus?
Definitely.
And by the way, he's saying the second message. My name is Arthur Brand. Don't pay attention about my fake name.
Definitely, yeah. We encourage everyone to, provide pull requests to Quarkus, because that's where the good stuff is. Like that's why I recommend it, like in the beginning, like if you start using Quarkus, you start like using the APIs that are there, and then you may feel like the need that there is something missing or something is not working quite well. So that's when you go and open an issue into the Quarkus, and then if you're courageous enough, you go ahead and provide a pull request fixing that feature or providing a new feature. So that's the thing that we're looking for our Quarkus contributors.
Right. I have more questions here. Those now we started the polemic ones, right?
Oh, okay.
That's a polemic topic. We like those, right? We like those kind of topics.
Right.
With some rumors about the reactivity programming fading away, which is the advent of the virtual threads, of course. What does the future hold for those kind of topics, right?
Right.
Is reactivity dying or not?
Who knows? I can try. Like, I mean, there are like several. Well, there is a blog post specifically in Quarkus that talks about virtual threads and how it fits into the Quarkus model and the reactive programming model per se. The link is let me check here. It's Quarkus IIO /blogs/virtual threads, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, I am mistaken. Oh no. Let me find here the link. But well, the short answer is that there are cases that using reactive may make sense for you, and cases where not. So right now, with the current state of the JVM and the JDK, we feel that it's not mature enough to have to discard all your reactive programming APIs in favor of virtual threads. We believe that that may happen at some point in the future, but not exactly now. Uh,
Yeah, maybe
so
on Java 25, 2 years
may,
time.
yeah, maybe.
There is lots of people talking about in React is dying, React is dead, right? Those kind of things. So that's my curious, right? So inside
Right.
Quarkus, they do this kind of advertisement and say, hey, you write normal codes, we translate in reactive under the hood for you, black box.
Yeah. I
If
mean,
if the reactivity goes away, so this new functionality from Quarkus will be what? Translate for virtual threads under the hood for you, something like that.
yeah. Well, there is a saying. There is, a saying that says that if you don't need reactive, if you feel that you you need to work with reactive, you probably don't. Like there are some few use cases where reactive are really important. Like if you have like if your application fits in this niche of applications that really need to be um, you know act fast and have uh, deal with a lot of users concurrently. So reactive maybe is the choice for you, but we saw that like in the majority of the use cases you don't really need to deal with reactive code, uh, especially because we deal with this job in Quarkus itself. Like if you use the Quarkus REST extension, which is like the new name for the Quarkus REST Easy Reactive extension, we do that for you. Like when you write a JAX-RS method, and that method, that method is handled in a it may be handled in a blocking or a non-blocking um, way. So we do that boring part for you.
Right.
So the idea is, do what you have at hand and make sure that the code that you write is legible for other people. So unless my advice is, unless you really need the reactive features, you don't need to use it.
Makes sense. We have a similar one. Which advance of Loom do you think Quartz will embrace and remove reactive way? Yeah, he kind of already answered, right? Do you think
Yeah,
that makes sense? Maybe not now. Let's wait
yeah,
Java 25.
yeah, definitely. So it depends on the case. Like you can't go around and put virtual threads on everything that you have right now in your application. So we believe that when the JDK matures enough to, the features that the JDK provides not right now, um, we believe that this will make it easier in the future. But since the future hasn't arrived yet, this is
Actually, another question that I have is curious. One thing is like if you think about virtual threads, right? You can
okay.
have virtual threads on the framework part, but
Yeah.
you can have virtual threads on the server side part, right? So, for example, Quarkus uses Jet, right?
No, no, no. Quarkus
It's
uses Vertex and Netty.
Netty, right? Yeah. So if Quarkus decide go virtual thread, so you can change the framework, but in a certain point, you guys expecting that the server side change as well, right? That makes sense.
Not really. It's not, virtual threads is a JVM feature. It's not really bound to any framework. Um, So this is like a different, a different way of starting threads and dealing with it in the framework. Um we know that Netty supports that, and because we have also um, added the support for virtual threads in Quarkus. You can, if you add an annotation, you make sure that that snippet is executed into a virtual thread. Um, but that doesn't really depend on the framework that you're using right now. Like, I mean, it's not like it's not like if we need to support virtual threads, we need to dump Natty, or that's totally wrong. Like that's
Right.
that's not the case. It's not a framework thing. It's a JVM feature.
Makes sense. Fair play. We have another question here. Jimenez Souza. What kind of problems is easy to solve using Quarkus than Spring?
Oh, that's well, that's depend on how used you are with Spring and Quarks. Like if your team is using uh, is is happy with Spring, then you can stick with Spring. Is not We're not forcing you to use Quarks unless you really want to have fun. Like if you're tired of, you're developing something and then you make a change in your code and then you need to restart the process all over again. So that's the part where Quarkus makes coding fun, and that's we always focus on developer joy. So we want we want the developers to have fun using Quarkus, and this is what we are trying to achieve with our core extensions in the community, Quarkus Extensions. Um, but if you ask me what kind of problem is easier to solve, I don't know the answer, to be honest. That depends
Right.
on the use case that you're looking for.
Yeah, that's a topic that we always emphasize on the community itself, right? Quarkus Group. Despite the name is Quarkus Club, we are open to anything, right? We talk about some other frameworks. We are not there for like blind sell Quarkus the best, forget the others. We don't do these kind of things. And if you want questions regarding other things, we are really friendly, really open, and everything is. Sometimes we really like to say even bad things about Quarkus, right? Because it's
Sure.
fun.
Yeah.
It's
Fair
fun for
enough.
the fun.
It's a free
Yeah. So
country
I
still.
that's the link that you send me. It's just if you want to check the virtual threads.
Yeah.
So yeah, so sometimes we want to say bad things just for fun, and everything's possible, right? Anyone
Yeah.
has open opinions there. So
Definitely.
we have another question from Mateus.
Oh,
What
nice.
kind of tips do you give for those who want to start contribution to Quarkus Core?
Right. So besides looking at the issues that we have, the good first issues that we have in the Quarkus issues, I would suggest you to try to review the existing PRs to learn about the Quarkus internals, um, and then browse the source code. Because Quarkus is totally open, you can browse the source code and try to understand how a specific feature works, and that's really interesting. That once you get how the things work, you can start by providing sending improvements or fixes if you find any bugs, and that will. This is, I think, this is like the first step in trying to getting your feet wet with Quarkus. Like pick the pull requests that are already there and try to review them, and also try to, if you want to really contribute sending a pull request, start by picking the good first issues in the Quarkus issue tracker. So this is what I'll recommend if you want to get started.
All right, nice. So again, if you're watching us, don't be shy. Feel free to send your questions on the chat. We really want to see from where are you guys are. So Post on chat where you're from or where you're based. We want to see those kind of things as well. So today was kind of a different session for us, right? First time that doing a QA session. Was really nice. As George said, we want the others Quarkus main contribution here as well. Hello, if you're watching us, we want you guys here. We are going to start poking those guys, or those girls, right? Could be anyone.
Yeah, definitely.
And we want those people here. Uh, so George, we are kind of end up on the questions. So just because I said there is more questions in the chat, but because before I go on those questions, do you have any question that you would like to answer? Something that came to your mind, like one thing that we didn't start is what is your, let's say, areas of interest or what you do exactly what you do on Quarkus?
Right. Yeah. Um, so yeah. Well, I, I specifically try to to contribute to. I work since I work as the core Quarkus maintainer. I keep an eye on every extension that we have right now in the Quarkus repository, and um, I also try to help the Quarkverse communities with the Quarkverse extensions. So there are times where if you feel like if you need some help with your Quarkverse extension, you can ping me in the issue. That I'll do my best to try to understand what's going on and try to fix your problem. So I think that's the beauty of community. Like you have everyone working together into something that is really um, nice to use it. So that's the kind of thing. Um,
Nice.
yeah.
So, um a trendy question: what influence and modifications do you think the AI wave brings to Quarkus?
Um,
Are we going to end up in a future that developer we don't need developer anymore?
well, I don't think so. I don't believe in that future, to be honest. But yeah, that's kind of tricky. It seems like a tricky question, but um, the AI. Well, we do have like some extensions that deal with AI. Like if you want to write an application that that consumes the OpenAI um, stuff, you can use the Quarkus Lang4j extension. Uh, I have noticed that if you try to use like GitHub Copilot or even OpenAI Chat, to do something in Quarkus for you, sometimes you get like a correct answer. Sometimes you get a totally nonsense snippet. So I believe that you have, you know, obviously AI is there to help you with coding issues. If it's easier, like if you need like to create an algorithm of some sort, you can just ask OpenAI to generate that for you. But uh, I think that you still need someone to do that, to have that intelligence to make sure that the code that you're using at the moment is performant and does what's intended to do. So
Makes
um,
sense. I don't know if you know about Darling, the new AI is kind of a software engineer AI able to write the full code for you.
oh, I haven't.
People start to be crazy, like, developer is going to die tomorrow, those kind
Oh,
of
I,
things.
I I remember that the company that created it is hiring some engineers. So I mean, why they don't use Dev instead? Like,
You see? Yeah, you kind of answer. Actually, there is another question here. That's nice. Sandro Ramos, that's a conversation that we already have inside the Quarks community.
Hmm.
And we don't have the answer, and maybe you don't know, but for curiosity, right? So I'm going to read the question, but I'm going to give my version as well, right? So here in Brazil, Quarkus was very successful in the financial world. What is your view about this success? And is there was similar behavior in Europe? So what we was talking inside Quarkus group is why we was trying to figure out why Quarkus is so famous inside banks in Brazil. What's happened? Why? And why is only banks? Like why there is no success in telecom? Why there is no success in other?
Right. I
It's a
think,
guess, right? It's a guessing.
yeah, I believe that standards is the answer here. Like, if you pick a Quarkus application, you will have like a you pick a person that has the same knowledge as anyone that has ever developed a Jakarta or a Java EE application. You will use like the same APIs, like CDI and JAX-RS, and those things are already, you know, those things that are already like, especially in financial institutions, they already know that it's something that's, people already know. You can simply reuse what you have right now, and you don't need to migrate or convert your code to something that is totally incompatible. So I think standards plays a big role here, when it comes to public institutions, because they want to protect the asset. And we do have some customers in Europe. Some major banks are using Quarkus. They also have like some specific use cases. For instance, there is one bank that had the requirement to run what is called the Jakarta connectors, a Jakarta connector component. So that's JCA, and that's something that Quarkus didn't support back then. So we came up with the idea of we came up with an extension that provides that support, and it's called Quarkus Iron Jacamar, which is the implementation for Jakarta connectors, and and this is the beauty of it. Like, you already have some legacy code, you already have things that are written using standards, and you don't need to write them all over again. You don't need to rewrite that code. You can simply reuse that. And with Quarkus, you have all the features, including the features that we have right now with Quarkus, and the code that you have, the legacy code that you have right now. So we believe there is only joy there. Like, you can, start a database in your application without installing anything, just using Docker containers. And you have like the beauty of restarting your application without deploying to a giant application server that will, restart and make your process really slow and tedious. So that's the thing. Quarkus is achieved to bring developer joy. I think I have already said that, but I'm I'm going in circles again. So
Nice.
the intention is to have fun. I think most of these institutions are looking for that too. But I believe that standards are the answer here. Like, following the Jakarta and the micro profile standards. That's the thing.
Nice. So we are almost limit of time here. So any other topic that you want to talk, George, quickly, if you feel?
Yeah, sure. I really want to thank all the people that have contributed to the Quarkus website translation. Um, this, I, I mean, the work that your guys have done is amazing, and I have noticed that, like, if you Google it, if you're in Brazil and you Google something Quarkus, you see that the Portuguese Quarkus version comes first. So that's really awesome. Like, um, the work that the Quarkus Club is doing with Quarkus is amazing, and we welcome this kind of work. This is really awesome.
Nice. And if someone wants to get in touch with you, what's the best way? I know you are in Quarkus Club, right? Join
Yeah,
the,
yeah.
the
Well, not
Discord.
not all the time, but yeah, you can, if you want, you can ping in Discord. But I'll be, well, the majority of my time I spend in Zulip, which is um, the Quarkus chat app that we use. Let me paste here the link. It's it's HTTPS. Sorry about that.
No, don't worry.
Um, so the Zulip chat is where we will find like the Quarkus core maintainers, um, and and we encourage you to join there and post your questions or things that you may need help with, and we'll be really glad to help you.
Nice. Quick question, just for finish. The master joker, Evan. Do you know how many people are in Zulip chat?
In Zulip chat,
Yeah,
uh,
members,
a
number
lot,
of members. There is more
a lot.
than two and a half thousand. I
Five.
think I saw someone saying that is about 5,000. So,
Yeah.
all right.
Five five
Okay.
point six k.
All right. You guys have the title of biggest community so far, right? Wait us. We are growing. We are
Oh,
growing slowly.
we also have a Telegram channel,
Ah,
but it's not the Quarkus official channel. It's run by Brazilians as well.
all right.
Uh,
Do you know if you want you can say I if you send on let's leave it for you publish on Quarkus Discord group, right? So
yeah,
if you're watching this and you want to know, you need to join that Discord group, right? That is
yeah,
what it is. So I just want to say thank you, George. Your Starman was amazing. Behalf of all the community Quarkus group, fantastic. I really like your opportunity, your time, your questions. I think, as I said, was the first time that we did a QA session. Maybe we can do it again, even with you again. Why not? And
sure,
for all the guys are watching and came with questions, was really nice. And
yeah. Oh, and there's one thing. Like if you contribute to Quarkus, you may be entitled to earn a shirt like this,
oh, nice.
especially on major releases like Quarkus. Quarkus 3 is already out, but probably in the future we'll have Quarkus 4. And if you contribute, uh, we'll pick the list of contributors and send you a free T-shirt when the
Nice.
next release is out. So that's not incentive to contribute.
Nice. Nice. Very nice. Again, thank you so much. Thank you, guys. And in 2 or 3 weeks' time, we are going to have another guest, another top key. So stay on for the next calls or future endeavors here in this Quarkus YouTube channel. And if you have someone in mind that you would like to see here, please send us a comment. Subscribe, like, send us a comment who you want to see here, and I'm going to do my best for maybe try him or try to invite whatever you want to hear, right? So with that said, thank you guys. See you next time.
Thank
Cheers.
you. Bye.